Well, at this particular moment, I'm going to invite our first guest, the ambassador of Uganda to UAE, Honorable Zaake Kibedi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the master and mistress of ceremony, our ministers, the Minister of State for ICT and the National Guidance, in charge of National Guidance, Honorable Godfrey Kapianga Baruku, the Minister of State for ICT and National Guidance, in charge of ICT, Honorable Luis Nabosa Sebugwao, the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Amina Zawede, the EDs of various government institutions. I've seen the ED of Uganda Tourism Board, I've seen the directors of Uganda Investment Authority, and your teams. I've seen the CEO of Uganda Airlines, colleagues from the embassy, Ambassador Henry Maiga, Sam Mara, Daniel Wadada, and the entire team. The leadership of the Uganda community in the United Arab Emirates. I've seen the President, the Secretary General, and the entire team. Also, I've seen the chairpersons of the communities from the 7 Emirates. And also, I've seen representatives of some of the Emirati Chambers of Commerce. My brother Abdulaziz from Sharjah Chamber of Commerce, Dubai Chamber of Commerce, Abu Dhabi Chamber of Commerce, distinguished guests, the business community, ladies and gentlemen. As Dubai World Expo 2020 comes to an end, I hope you are still invigorated and will continue promoting Ugandan products in the UAE and in the Middle East with renewed commitment. You recall that this World Expo 2020 was renamed Dubai World Expo 2020 because it was going to be held in Dubai. It was initially meant to be held in Dubai from 20th October 2020 to 19th April 2021, and was the first of its kind to be held in the Middle East, North Africa, South Asia region. However, due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, it was postponed and commenced on 1st October 2021 until 31st March, when it will be closing. It will be closing with an activity. One of them is the World Government Summit, which is going to be hosted on 30th. So many government leaders are leading delegations from over 192 countries, and the Ugandan delegation will be led by none other than the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Uganda. The expo was organized under the theme Connecting Minds, Creating the Future, with this being expressed into 3 sub-themes of mobility, sustainability, and opportunity. Uganda selected the sub-theme of opportunity, and the Uganda Pavilion is located in the Opportunity District. I would like to invite all of you that haven't visited the expo to use the remaining days to visit the expo, and more particularly the Ugandan Pavilion. The Dubai Expo 2020 provided a platform for Uganda to foster creativity, innovation, and partnership globally. The expo gave an opportunity to Ugandans, business people, the diaspora in the UAE, and beyond to participate in the event and form capacity to enable them to contribute to national development back home. Uganda's participation brought all relevant stakeholders on board, and they were able to identify the gaps in both quality and quantities that is creating inconsistent supplies in the UAE and in the Middle East. Today, I've been happy to interact with one Ugandan who has just informed me that after he had our statements at the opening of the expo, and we were talking about these inconsistencies in supply, he went and reorganized. He wants to supply eggs from Uganda to here, and he's assuring me that he has the capacity of supplying 10,000 eggs every week, because now he has 350,000 birds, laying birds. I don't know if he's here. Yusuf, where are you? Stand up for recognition. He's there. So I've already briefed Mr. Abdelaziz from the Chamber, Saudi Chamber of Commerce, to connect you with some companies that will be interested to do business with you. So this is what we have to do as Uganda. Everything that is grown in Uganda has market here, because unlike most of the countries, UAE has over 200 nationalities living and working in the UAE. So every kind of food that you can promote or export here, it has market. So we just need back home to organize our supply systems. Ladies and gentlemen, the stakeholders that participated from Uganda included manufacturers, processors, agriculturists, entrepreneurs, innovators. Have been informed by the Permanent Secretary Minister of ICT that this time around she has also come along with some innovators. Thank you. And exporters amongst others. I wish to assure you that Uganda's participation in Expo 2020 spoke to strengthen economic and business ties, promote tourism and trade, attract investments, and enhance bilateral relations between the two countries, has achieved the purpose. I also wish to assure you that the impact of Uganda's participation at this expo will be felt further beyond business, and it is my sincere hope that it will also promote social and cultural interaction between the peoples of our two countries. As a result of our participation at the Expo 2020, we were able to achieve some of the following. First of all, the Ugandan delegation at the opening was led by none other than His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, who led us for the National Day at the Expo. The eve before our National Day, the tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa, was decorated in Ugandan colors. During the time of the 3-day stay of His Excellency the President, deals that were signed were worth $950 million US. In sectors of agro-processing, I don't know if Elita is already here, I'll talk about them. In the areas of energy and minerals, I don't know if Mazda Green Energy is represented today. I hope they were invited. And as a result, Elite Agro has committed establishing 7 processing factories in Uganda in the areas of Bushenyi, Kisoro, Ruchiga, Chenjojo, Zombo, Shema, and Bukweju. And each of these processing plants is estimated to cost $25 million US times 7. So that is $175 million US. Elita is on schedule, is on the program to make a presentation. They will talk about other plans they have in Uganda, like also in rice processing, there is a meeting I attended in Kampala, and someone advised that we should stop referring to them as Irish potatoes. They are Chisoro potatoes. They want also to process Chisoro potatoes. During this time of our participation, we were able to interest a company called G43 to set up a vaccine manufacturing plant in Uganda. It is going to be worth $50 million US. We attracted Lulu Hypermarket to purchase Ugandan produce worth $10 million US. We organized meetings with the CEO and the Minister for Agriculture, so we were able to come to conclude some of the deals. We attracted a company known as AG Petroleum to establish a lubricant plant in Namamve. It's going to cost $10 million US. And the construction has started in Namamve. We thank the Uganda Investment Authority. They allocated them land. Amia Power, I don't know if there is a representative here from Amia Power. Amia Power, they are going to set up 2 solar plants. Okay, one solar plant in Arua is going to be generating 20 megawatts of solar energy, and a hybrid of solar and wind plant in Karamoja is going to be generating 200 megawatts. 80 during the daytime is going to be generated by solar, and the 120 in the night is going to be generated by wind. And also the contracts were approved by the Ministry, the Electricity Regulatory Authority. The other one of 120 megawatts is going to be established in Moroto, Karamoja. And once they finish construction of the 120 megawatts, they've already agreed with the Uganda Investment Authority to set up an industrial park there, that area. So the business members that are here, we invite you to come and book slots in that industrial park. There is another company known as Global Gases Group. It is based in one of the free zones here. It is setting up a medical oxygen plant in Uganda worth $10 million US. This will be very helpful in fight against the COVID because oxygen is one of those items that have been required for some of the patients in ICU. So now they are bringing the service closer to us. We received the expression of interest from one company, Gulf Trading. They want to be importing every month 1,000 cows from Uganda. They have a slaughterhouse here. We've already gotten the offer. So if you would be interested and you are able to supply, please come and register with the embassy. 1,000 every month for the first 6 months. And if the supply is consistent, then they can increase on the number of animals that will be taken every month. We've received the expression from a company they're interested to purchase 50 metric tons of kidney beans from Uganda every month, starting May. 50 metric tons of dried kidney beans every month. We've also received expression of interest from ENG, a public transport company. It's the company managing the public transport in Abu Dhabi, and I think they also do some operations in Sharjah. They are interested in investing in the public transport of Kampala metropolitan area, but also the other new cities in Uganda. During this time of the expo, we were able to get authorization for Uganda Airlines to start flying to Dubai. So the CEO is here. Apparently, I think you are flying 4 times a week, right? We've also applied for landing in Sharjah. Since Brother Brazil is here, he will help us to follow up on our request. We want also to start with at least 2 flights in Sharjah every week. And during the same period, Air Arabia established flights from Sharjah to Entebbe, hence increasing competition that has led to price reduction of flights between Entebbe and UAE. And also the kilos one is allowed have increased. Like yesterday when I returned from home, I was allowed the 90 kilos. 90 kilos. So I brought all the different food items from Uganda, including matoke. Distinguished guests, permit me to take this opportunity to share with you some of the challenges faced during our participation at the Expo. Some of these companies that expressed interest sought for the required information, but with some MDEs it has been a challenge to get information in good time. Otherwise, the list will be much longer than this of the companies that are committing to invest in Uganda. But I'm happy that most of the sectors that are relevant in our program of promoting economic and commercial diplomacy are being represented here. I've seen ICTs here, trade is here. The permanent secretary was supposed to be with me on the same flight yesterday, but there were some issues. He's coming tonight. And since the other MDAs from trade are here, we shall discuss to see how to increase on the management of sharing information, because at times it takes forever. Also, we are expecting the leadership of Uganda Tourism Board, but the CEO is here. The other challenge has been availability of legal frameworks, but now the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, UAE, are working on finalizing some MOUs that will facilitate trade and investments between Uganda and the United Arab Emirates. And also the challenge from the private, on the side of the private sector from Uganda, most of them, they talk about business proposals. Like there is one company here called the Exim Finance. I don't know if Mr. Salah is here, the CEO. For them, they are interested in financing between 5 million to 20 million US dollars projects within this range in the areas of agro-processing, in the areas of ICT, in the areas of construction. But we've gotten a challenge that those companies that have expressed interest to get this financing, and it is cheap financing, it is between 2 to 4%. It is cheap financing, it's optional if you want to get the financing, or if you don't want to get the financing and they're interested in equity, they can do that in your company, they can invest in your company. But getting bankable project proposals has been a problem. So we would like to encourage you, the business people that are here from home, when you have a business idea, go ahead to carry out the study and develop a bankable business proposal. And of course, we've talked about the inconsistencies in supplies in terms of quality and quantity. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to working with each one of you to advance the cause of the mutually beneficial business partnerships between our two countries. Uganda is open for business, and it is one of the few African countries with good policies to promote trade, investment, and tourism. Like, for example, I've heard from some of you, the investors, that in some countries there are challenges of accessing foreign exchange. In Uganda, it's not a problem. It's not a problem, and feel free to contact us anytime. Before I conclude my remarks, allow me to show you my colleagues I work with, such that in case you are unable to access me, you can access any of the colleagues. Apparently, the business and the other activities between Uganda and UAE have increased. So I'm finding myself working in the UAE 3 weeks, 2 weeks in Uganda. So when I'm away, you shouldn't find a problem of getting whatever kind of assistance you need from us. That's why I want to show you my colleagues. If you could come forward, Ambassador Maiga and all the other members of the embassy that are here. Dr. Omara, where are you? Daniel, the embassy staff quickly. As the embassy staff come, also the executive committee of the Association of Ugandans in UAE, you can come the other side. You're also helping us to promote economic and commercial diplomacy. So next to me is Ambassador Henry Maiga, Deputy Head of Mission at the Uganda Embassy in Abu Dhabi, but we've also opened up a liaison office in Dubai. It is in Jumeirah, and we've requested the government of UAE to authorize us upgrading into a consulate. So very soon we shall have a Uganda consulate in Dubai. So he is Dr. Sam Omara, the head of economic and commercial diplomacy, but he has also been the Deputy Commissioner General of Uganda's Participation and the Expo. So any other member from the embassy that is here? So colleagues, you can take your seat. So from the Uganda Association in UAE, I want to start by introducing the President. The President, you can come and quickly introduce the other members one by one. The name, just the name and the position they hold.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, our ambassador, and thank you for coming. I'll begin from the gentleman here, the General Secretary for the community, Mr. Chimera Yusuf, is working hand in hand out to send messages to people and organize everything. The things that you see here, the emails that you receive, some emails come from him and some emails come from the embassy. Thank you. The next gentleman is Cosmos Ahebwa, is the speaker. When we sit, he's our speaker. So he's also organizing events. He's a very courageous man and working tirelessly to see that the community moves forward. Thank you. The lady next to him is, in our language we say Nabachala. Female issues, these girls are being, they are facing such problems. So she's handling everything surrounding ladies, and even men, but mostly ladies. And she's called Nabiye Zam. She's a very hard-working lady. Most of you have seen her on the platforms, the different platforms. The next gentleman is our advisor. We've been here for a few years, but he has been here for years. He has never been under the government in Uganda. Because of most of his time he has been here. The government has stayed for 35 years, he has been here. So, he's Sheikh Abbas Nsoga. He belongs to Mamba clan. Because of that, maybe I have to mention that he's a Mamba clan gentleman. So, he's very working. He's the ambassador for the Kingdom of Uganda here in UAE. Next to him is Bakasambe Omar. He's also our advisor. They are closely the same age here. They have been in UAE for so long. The notes that you see today, we are changing 50 note to another note. They have seen the note changes. So they have been here for so long. We thank you so much. And because of them, that's why we are here. Because if they were not displayed, maybe we wouldn't have the chance to come here. But because they portrayed a very big, good picture, that's why even UAE opened hands for us to come and join UAE. Thank you so much for that presentation. Next gentleman is Ismail Sebugwao. I saw Mama Sebugwao around. Yes. So this is our Sebugwao here. He works in Khalij Times. He's a reporter, a writer. He's just waiting for clearance to go to write about Ukraine and Russia, but maybe soon he will go. He's a very hardworking man. He's the chairman for Abu Dhabi community, and he has been closely working with the embassy to see that this event comes out very clearly and successfully. Thank you. The next gentleman, I may use the same words I used to Sheikh Abbas, is Mr. Chikomeko Ismail. He's another man who has stayed here for so long. Actually, many people know him more than they know him in Uganda. Since I was born, I've only seen him once in Uganda, only once. But most of the times he's here. He's a very hardworking man. He's our advisor, because when you reach at such ages, you have to advise. So that's what he's doing, advising us, do this and do this. Don't use this road, use the straight route. So he's a very hardworking man, exemplary to the community, and most people have taken his path and they have successfully reached their destination. Thank you so much. Then, with issues concerning finance, money, how to keep our money, the next gentleman is the one concerned. If you're looking for me to give you money, you have to look for him. Because even if I tell you anything, but he has to release the money. So, Omar Usubuga is our treasurer of the community. Just in case you have something to contribute to the community, maybe you are here, you can reach out and see him and you give him that this is for the community, for the work done. He's ready and he will receive it and he will acknowledge and even he will register everything down. Thank you so much for the work done. As you know, we move on. There's some things that we have to follow the laws. So on the community, we have someone concerning labor issues. Maybe you've been cheated at your workplace, you work more hours and you're not paid. Salim Sebagala is the concerned man regarding that issue, the next gentleman. He's a very hardworking guy. He's well equipped with the UAE and Ugandan laws, so he can guide you accordingly and is guiding the community towards the right path. Because Ugandans are known for law-abiding people here in UAE, and he has been so much concerned about lawbreakers. How can we bring them back to the right path? He has been doing a very wonderful work in that aspect. Thank you so much. You know, if you are living in Dubai, you have to show it. I think by seeing that gentleman next to you, you should know that this is now the man in Dubai. He's a very hardworking man. He's the mayor. As we have in our country, we have the mayor of the capital city. For him, he's the mayor of Dubai, the Ugandan community. He's doing a lot of work to see that business goes back to our country. And he has taken a lot of businesses in Uganda. He's doing a lot of work connecting, seeing the ends meet, and at the end of the day, we have some business people going back to Uganda to see what exactly happens in Uganda that we can do, and we share this beautiful country, Uganda. Thank you so much. The next gentleman is Abdallah Kabogoza. He has been working down in the community. Sometimes we use Omuntu Wawansi, who knows those people in the community, the ghetto world. He goes down there to meet them and see how they live, who is sick, who is ready to be taken to be repatriated in case of death. So that is his department, welfare department, and is doing a very, very great work, acknowledged by even the embassy, acknowledged by the country UAE, and even back in Uganda. Thank you so much. We only have few ladies, not because we don't like them, but because we have to protect the ladies. So that's why we choose few to protect the other bigger group. And Ashley is one of them, Ashley Quality. She calls herself Ashley Quality because she does things in a very qualitative way. So she's our PR on the community. She speaks out, she's our mouth. What you hear, sometimes we were asked that, what about this, what about this? We just refer them to Ashley. Sometimes there are some tunes that come on our Twitter, on our Facebook, and they're sometimes abusive, but we have to first ask her, how did you let this happen? And sometimes she managed, and sometimes there are certain things that run out of hand. But we still acknowledge and we thank her for that big work being done. Thank you so much. What about mentioning Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and we don't have Sharjah? So that gentleman represents that emirate, Sharjah. Abubakar Ismail, very hardworking man, always, he's also down to earth. Omuntu wa wansi, he goes down to see those small details. How can we improve them? He's a very hardworking guy, very hardworking man, and on top of that, he's married. Thank you so much.
He forgot to introduce himself. He's Nsubuga Bas, the president of the Ugandan community in the UAE. In conclusion, I would like to say that if you are a business person and you are thinking of where to focus or to invest or do business in the next 5 years, think about doing business between Uganda and UAE. Why? I'll just use 3 examples from when I've been observing the growth of business between Uganda and UAE. It has been since 2018. 2018, the export from Uganda to UAE were worth $600 million US. As we conclude the expo, it has grown to over $3 billion US. The investment have also grown from 150 million US. It is now by the end of the expo close to $4 billion US. The remittances of these Ugandans sending back home has grown from $50 million US to $200 million US. The flights, daily flights now between Uganda and UAE are 5 flights. Uganda Airlines, Emirates, Fly Dubai does 2 flights a day, and then Sharjah, that is Air Arabia. They are all flying to Uganda, and the flight time is only 5 hours. So you can go in the morning, work in Uganda, and come back the following day, work in UAE. So I thank you for listening to me, and I wish you a good function. And also feel free to contact us anytime. It's the reason we are here to facilitate your interests in Uganda and the Ugandan interests in the UAE. I thank you.